Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. We are at a point in the gaming sphere that simply being associated with a consultancy group can almost tank any prospective sales of your video game. And it looks like we have one more casualty in that narrative right now. Coming on over to Smash JT's website over here, Flintlock, Siege of Dawn. It's been talked about a little bit here and there, not too much. It released today, but it looks like their association with Sweet Baby Inc. is causing it problems. Looks like it's a bit of a complete failure. Flintlock, Siege of Dawn, awful you looking. Well, not that it's a matter of perspective, Smash. Come on now. Awful looking, yet somehow much anticipated, because everything's much anticipated. Every single video game, every single TV show, much anticipated, absolutely loved, all this other blah, blah, blah. Let me get this a little bigger for you, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So I can read it too. From some compromised game, so-called game journalist. Action role-playing game developed by A44 Games and published by Kepler Interactive has finally hit the shelves. Hard. Like crashing. Yeah, it landed like a wet fart in a car. Released on July 18th, as of this recording today. Now, let's see. For PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have to go check in a little bit. I do believe it's day one, day and date on Game Pass. So that is really probably, that might affect the sales of it, but it shouldn't affect the numbers. You think that if people are playing it, the more people are playing it for free, it would bump the numbers up. At least give it a shot. Title was expected to make waves in the gaming community. Instead, it's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Initial buzz surrounding Flintlock has quickly dissipated. Apparently so. Got an all-time peak in 1 hour. Oh, 1 hour ago. How about, let's go take a look at this. Real time as of this recording. All-time peak 200. And is this the same? Yes, Siege of... Oh, that's the demo. Oh, that's a failure. Let's go back over here, shall we? You know what? Let's do it in real time. Flintlock. We're going to do it in real time. We'll do it live or do it as of this recording. Flintlock. That's not the demo. Here we go. There's no numbers up here. Back to the article. Smash, how'd you get your numbers? I'm jealous. Initial buzz surrounding Flintlock has quickly dissipated, with Steam charts reflecting a stark reality. The game is not popular. Looks like it. Players are abandoning ship and the numbers are dropping rapidly, with launch day peaking at 648 players. That is quite easily unfortunate. We'll have to take a look after this weekend to see where the numbers stand. Metacritic scores from reviewers paint a bleak picture as well. 71? 71's not terrible, but you only have 20 people. You only have 20 people reviewing the game. That, I think, is more interesting than anything else. The number 71? That's above average. We all know this is above average for a game. It's 20 people cared enough to give this a review. Sweet Baby Inc. Curse. Now this is probably the more important thing about this whole thing. You have all these games. People are finding out. And yes, before you even say anything, we are pretty much all aware that Sweet Baby Inc. is not the sole one responsible for what a lot of people consider forced diversity, inclusion, and equity. Yes, we are aware of that. However, you have a lot of gamers out there that just aren't interested in their involvement whatsoever, and will see their involvement and DIE companies, consultancy groups like them, and will simply walk away from a prospective purchase. One of the critical aspects of this unfolding disaster is the involvement of Sweet Baby Stench. This company has attached itself to several projects over the years, many of which have struggled to gain traction or outright failed. Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn, apparently is now yet one more casualty to add to the list. This post from Grump. SBI Flintlock has launched to very poor Steam stats. 670 players, where other older games are doing much better. That is also another thing that's going on right now. You have a lot of people not just going back to older finished video games, but also older TV shows, older movies, going back to classic entertainment that isn't filled to the brim with on-the-nose ideological nonsense. entertaining stories, interesting characters that are actually organically diverse. Who'd have thunk it? Instead of this superficial nonsense that's being shoveled down our throats over and over again. Sweet Baby Inc. has a history of controversial decisions like trying to dox someone and get their livelihood removed and get their Steam account destroyed, but, you know, that is what it is. And this time is no difference. Reports indicated that a character, initially described as white and also reasonably attractive, underwent a significant redesign that left many gamers confused. Now, if you talk about this and you bring this up and open it up for discussion, well, you are just a filthy racist. You are not allowed to criticize any sort of changes like this. I believe, South of Midnight. I'm not sure if that game went through the same types of changes or if there was specifically the story I'm thinking of maybe talking about Flintlock. It's one or the other, but we're hearing more and more stories like this over and over where a character with far less melanin content is changed over for whatever reasons, maybe to pull more gamers. We want to appeal to a wider range of customers when all you're making, you're doing a palette change. That's it. That is not going to appeal, because if all you're doing is a palette change and instead of working on the actual character, the actual story, you're not going to draw anyone in. If you cannot make an interesting story with good gameplay, in the case of video games, with interesting characters and an interesting world, then it doesn't matter what the color of the skin or the gender or the sexuality of the protagonist is. That's all superficial bollocks that gamers don't care about. At least the vast majority that would be willing to throw money at you if all you did was focus on being entertaining. Significant redesigns that left many gamers confused. The resulting backlash has been swift and unforgiving. Well, but here's the thing about gamers. We have a tendency to forgive and forget if you just put out something that's fun, entertaining, interesting, good gameplay loop. I say this over and over again when I'm talking about video games and when I'm talking about TV shows, any sort of entertainment. Focus on the entertainment first. The ideological, superficial BS last. We'll put up with a lot of crap if it's fun or funny. Mediocrity and missed opportunities. Flintlock Siege of Dawn is plagued with mediocrity. I don't know. I haven't played it. I might have to go check it out this weekend and give my actual opinion on it. We'll see what kind of game it is. Action RPG? Why not? Could be a fun couple of hours to kill. Couple 3 hours. According to most reviews, the combat mechanics are described as perfectly fine, but that's about where the praise ends. Oh my goodness. Cabrutus comes out today as the launch of Flintlock Siege of the Dawn, the game tainted. And yes, whether you like the words or not, whether how much you think that statement is hyperbolic or not, it is true. More and more gamers are finding out, thanks to Cabrutus Rambo, the man who deserves a cape, putting out information. We're not making a hit list. We're just, or him, he's just putting out a list of games with this DIE company is involved with, that diversity and inclusion and equity consultancy group is part of, regardless of how much involvement they have. We're not interested anymore. The gamers, again, the ones with big, fat wallets. The gamers out there with a lot of expendable income that we can spend on luxuries, stuff to get us away from the nonsense going on in the real world. Looking for our escapism. We're looking, hoping that a studio out there, a developer out there, someone will provide us that outlet to throw our money at. But you continue to push ideology, checkbox nonsense for diversity and inclusion and equity. We're not interested. The vast majority. And I think I can safely say we, the royal we. I can safely speak for the majority of gamers because sales don't lie. These numbers, let's go back up. These numbers do not lie. Sales figures don't lie. Players right now, all-time peak. Easy enough to find, easy enough to prove. they're also easy enough to disprove if they're false. So, where's the lie coming from me? There's a massive, ongoing, exponentially increasing lack of interest in games like this when you have a consultancy group involved with DIE involved. Narrative, you know that Sweet Baby Inc. is so heavily involved, it doesn't even matter if they're infinitesimally involved. I know I said it wrong, I'm not going back. If they're involved, we're not interested. Whole crucial element in any role-playing game fails to engage. Let's see. Narrative, you know, okay. Despite glimpses of good ideas, none are fleshed out, leaving players with a story that feels shallow and uninspired. Oh, that's a shame. Result is a game that isn't memorable in any meaningful way. This isn't the first time we've been promised a studio. Seen a promising studio falter under the partnership with Sweet Baby Inc. Yep, it's not the first time. Which one's he going to bring about? Let's see. The track record of attaching themselves to projects destined to fail raises serious questions. When will game studios learn that partnering with SBI and these other consultancy groups, we need to stop singling out? We can mention Sweet Baby Inc. in our videos, in our articles, in our little rants, if you want to call them that. But there are more than just SBI. It's more than just Kim Belair and Chris Kindred running their mouths like raving lunatics, trying to come after our families and our jobs and our livelihoods and our hobbies. It's way more than that. They're out there, and they need to be called out as well. We're not interested. I guess it all depends on, we're going to talk about BlackRock and Vanguard. I really don't care about that. A44 Studios, the developers behind Flintlock, now face an uncertain future of failure. It's pretty certain it's a future of failure. The game's poor reception could very well lead to significant consequences, including potential studio closure. I do not cheer on the closure of any studio or the loss of someone's job, regardless of their opinion or their stance on anything. Just make a shift and make a good game. Stop listening to the groups that nobody wants to hear from. It is what it is. People are going to start voting with their wallet. And that's all the DEI detected, I'll say it right, website is. We're finding the games, we're putting them on a list. You make the decision for yourself. If there are so many people out there that are looking, that are clamoring for that checkbox ideological diversity, inclusion, and equity, if that is the modern audience you're looking for, and there's so many of them out there, then you should be confident that your game will succeed because they will put their money where their mouth is and buy the game. So now what? Flintlock Siege of Dawn has all the makings of a successful title, but instead became another inevitable failure in the gaming industry. The involvement of SBI, coupled with poor design choices and lackluster execution, more than likely, the poor design and lackluster execution did more damage than Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement. But naturally, with, I believe the SBI detected Steam group has over 400,000 members. That is a massive customer base or potential customer base of people who have no interest in the involvement of consultancy group like Sweet Baby. Pay attention, studios. It's time to start paying attention. Get away from these consultancy groups. Stop worrying about my diversity first. Stop concerning yourself with my checkbox inclusion first. They can be fine. Put those in your list. Bring people in to discuss, I guess, believable scenarios in your world. But focus on being entertaining first. The part over here, let's see, the Sweet Baby curse. This right here, it's not just the Sweet Baby Inc. curse. It is the DEI curse. It is the consultancy group curse. There are more and more groups, legitimate, actual grifters, who are preying on these developers, trying to, let's see, what was the words Kim Belair used? Take the marketing department out for coffee and terrify them as to what would happen if they don't do what you're asking them to do. We need to get rid of people like that. They do not belong in our industry. They have no place in entertainment. They are a plague on entertainment because they're not interested in entertaining. All they want to do is make their money and move on to the next project, and the next project will suffer. The Sweet Baby Curse. Yeah. We're going to find a new name for it. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Good job, Smash JT. Give me some articles. I'm going to come after you. I say come after you. Let's check you out as a source. Let's see what you got. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Do all those nifty little things that YouTube is begging you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you for making it this far. Bye-bye.